Thinking about leaving your soul-sucking 9 to 5 job? One of the biggest struggles I see people, especially us women, face is the idea of having that safety net, that enticing perks and benefits, and listening to that head trash of what will people think if I leave. I totally get it, and I've been where you are. That's why I created a free guide to help you if you're thinking about putting in that notice. It's called Unlocking Your Exit Plan. Discover 5 things you need to do before leaving your 9 to 5. This guide is filled with worksheets and steps so you will have hand holding along the way. You can download your copy in the link in the show notes, and again, it's totally free. Now back to today's episode. You're listening to the Hello C.S. Dorsey podcast, episode number 14. I had the wonderful pleasure of having Lorraine Whitfield on my show today. She is an empowerment coach for women and an author and have written several books and journals. She is a teacher and childcare consultant, a wife of 38 years to a wonderful pastor, and a mother of 7 and grandmother of 15. Lorraine loves the Lord and ready for God to do a new thing. She loves to help women that are hurting, going through a tough time, and help them walk in the vision and plan God has for them. Her quote, "If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to." She helps women write their vision in order to be a better wife, mother, and woman of God. Let's dive in. Tired of staring at blank pages and don't know what to do? Or you completed your manuscript and now what? My name is C.S. Dorsey of HelloCSDorsey.com, and I coach writers and authors with the writing and self-publishing process. I wrote my book in 3 months. Yes, 3 months. It took dedication, discipline, and time management. After 3 months of writing and 3 months of editing, I submitted my book to tons of literary agents who said no or just didn't say anything at all. So I went to my best friend Google. My goal is to help, teach, and motivate writers to take that leap to become a self-published author. It will be a dream come true. Go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. My name is Lorraine Jones Whitfield. I'm a wife. I've been married for 38 years. I have 7 children, 15 grandchildren. I'm a former child care provider because I have my own daycare in Virginia, and I currently live in North Carolina now for the last couple of years. And I had that for over 30 years. I mean, I love to teach. I love to travel. I love to write because I am an author. I write journals, and I love to do art. I like to color, draw, and I like to do art. And I am currently a Christian life coach, and I'm a certified Christian life coach, and I am a teacher. I'm a Christian counselor. I have my bachelor's in family Christian counseling, and actually I'm a child care consultant too. So I do those things. As I said, I'm an author of 3 books and about 5 journals, and I'm still creating. And then I just launched a t-shirt business, a Christian t-shirt business to kind of go along with all of that. And so that's basically what I do besides help my husband.
Wow, you're a busy lady. I thought I was. Oh my goodness, you got me beat. You go ahead and you take it.
It's kind of all running together though. It sounds really, but it kind of like, I measure it out, put it that way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So tell us something about yourself that a lot of people don't know.
Well, I know they know that my husband is a preacher, but myself, people don't know that I like to draw and color, as I said, and I like to doodle a lot, and then mostly I like to lay back and relax and do word search puzzles. So I don't think nobody know I take time to do that, but I do. Yes, that's what I like to do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
So word search puzzles. What is the weirdest thing that they've asked? Because I know they ask like different things, so you could like pick out the word or
circle the word.
Yeah, or circle the word and everything. What's the weirdest word that you've seen on
I can't even pronounce it, but it was a long word last night. It was a long one, and I didn't even know the meaning of that word. And I'm like, okay. Oh my God, I couldn't even think I can pronounce it, but Oh my goodness, yeah, because they got some long words. I think it's more consonants than it is vowels in them words. Well, I'm like, wow.
It's like they just put the words together, just like, here, go ahead and find it, huh?
They're the easiest words to find. You know why? Because they stick them along the sides. Because they know I can't fit them nowhere else.
Or it's going down the middle or somewhere.
Exactly right. I can't pronounce the word, but it was a long one last night.
It's so funny. Okay. So the theme is time to level up, how to reach your goals in 2020. What tips can you give us today on how to level up in our business or level up in our life, our health, our family? What tips can you give to our audience today on how they can level up on those things?
Well, my tips would be like, first I have to get directions from God. I have to really pray and get those directions, and then like how to level up, kind of like make sure you know what your gifts are and use your gifts. Because leveling up means like equipping me with wisdom and knowledge. I think about James when he says in the book of James, it says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask God. So I have to equip me with the knowledge. And this year, my word, because I asked the ladies in my group what their word is for the year. Mine was big, B-I-G. But then it came with big confidence because I was lacking that. So I was like, I needed more confidence in the area of technology, and I wanted in my bucket list to do webinars and things like that. So, so being able to think and have that mindset, have the right attitude, and then advance in my personal life, looking to equipping myself in that personal life and for greater and for bigger. That's my mindset this year. You know, like they always say 2020 vision, but without that vision, you couldn't do it anyway. So I said, so moving forward towards the destinies and helping other ladies move towards their destinies, advancing for its purposes and greater accomplishments. But most of all, I have to be convinced of the call that he will give me that wisdom, the knowledge to take me through that process. And then one big thing we probably have to think about is like those distractions or overcoming that opposition. Those things that come up, it's kind of like you're chugging along the way, and all of a sudden a stone is thrown at you, and you got to, oh my God. So you got to try to, in the midst of that thing thrown at you, you got to keep focused. You got to keep really focused. So yeah, so it's like, that's what you got to do. So that's what I mean. That's what I think leveling up means to me. Like, because I affirm myself every day. I try to affirm myself and write my goals out. Even though I'm an author, my son gave me a book and it helped me guide myself through every day. So it equips me to get ready for what I'm doing. I've been trying to do it. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you mentioned about overcoming distractions and obstacles. What advice could you give us to overcome those things? Because a lot of times when we get those distractions and those obstacles, we are so quick to just give up. And I'm saying it for myself too, because I've been like that. I've been like just completely discouraged, but it's not to discourage me, but it's to make me grow and to help me to be better, because I keep saying in my mind, okay, Candace, this is a testimony that I can give to someone else. Don't give up. How did I overcome that? So what advice could you give those out there on how to basically overcome those obstacles and like jump right over them and not, shy away from them?
I think when I wrote a journal called because my thing is she has an attitude of gratitude. And when I wrote my book called Attitude of Gratitude, that's the reason I wrote it, because of the simple fact is give yourself those affirmations, but give thanks in the morning when you get up, and then when you write your gratitude list in the afternoon when it's all over with. But try, even though those storms or those obstacles come, try your best not to sit there and focus on it, because it will discourage you or it will do that. So I learned, to take that time out for myself. And sometimes when I get those distractions come, I'll drop everything and I'll walk and I'll pray, or I won't try my best not to focus on it because it will make you give up. I mean, make you feel like you want to give up, put it that way.
Yes.
Make you feel like you want to just stop and quit. But you got to know, like I said in the beginning, you got to know, you got to be convinced of the call that you had and know that that's going to come with it. Like you said, when it comes to leveling up, that's going to come with it because you're going to overcome some obstacles. But there are going to be some mountains you're going to have to climb. There are going to be some valleys that you're going to have to go through.
That's right.
Just know that you can do it. You can do it. You can make it. Yeah.
Oh, I just got touched when you said that, and I was just getting ready to shout, and I was like, "Calm down, Candace." I'm serious when it comes to the Lord. Talking about the Lord, I love it so much, and it's like, Candace, okay, calm down.
No.
It's like, shall I shout now and then edit it later, or keep it in? I'm not exactly sure.
I know, just be balancing. Yeah. And that's when I wrote the books called Faith It, because there was so many things that I had to faith my way through.
Mm-hmm.
I had to faith my way through, Candace, from the age of as far as back as I can remember, from 16 and up. I had to faith my way through. But I didn't let nothing stop me because, can I say something?
Yeah,
because you know what? Because at the age of 16, I was pregnant. I was pregnant at 16, a mother, and still in high school and trying to make it. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know the directions I can go through to get to where I got to go. And my aunt stepped in to help me get through to school. I graduated with my son. I went through, but I won't say it was a mistake. I just say, that was my blessing. But at the same time, it didn't stop me. I went from there to McDonald's to take care of my son, and then I moved forward. Those were a lot of distractions. Those were a lot of obstacles at a young age, but I didn't know what that meant until later on in life. And now I begin to see in my later age, I begin to see the purpose and the plan that God had for me. And so I look back at my book called Faith in It, and I've seen how he brought me out of this. He'll bring me out of that. He'll bring me out of this.
That's right.
He told us we're not going to, he says, what did he say in Ephesians? Exodus, he said, be strong. He said, fear not, I will be with you. When they was going through the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen many times he parted my whole Red Sea. He brought me through.
Yes.
So he will, because it's going to be distractions.
That's right.
This is going to come against you, and that's going to come against you, but that's all a part of going to that next level.
That's right.
Getting to that next level. Some people don't make it to the next level because they get discouraged and they don't want to, but my thing is like, that's what I do, is try to encourage them to keep on pushing. Several women I encouraged. Some are going back to school, got the GED. Some are going to get this, and they fighting. And they were like, I gave up 3 times. Like, keep on pushing, chug, chug, chug. Like the little engine that could chug, chug, chug. Keep pushing, keep pushing. You can do it. You can do it. I did it at 16. Wow. I did it at 16, and now, like I told you, 7 kids later. But I found, I'm like Sarah in the Bible. I don't care if I was 90, I'm going to make it to my purpose. I'm going to give birth to my baby. I'm going to give birth to my baby. So
that's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Because we put so much stigma on age. I think that's a society thing. We put so much stigma on age. I will be 36 this year, and I don't have any kids, and I'm not married, but I'm like, I know in God's time it will be right. It will be the right time, and it will be right. I can easily go out there and, go grab somebody, but why should I when he can send them? So
you telling my daughter, I read her post the other night. She's 36 this year too. I say, I read her post. She said almost just what you said. Yep, she is. She's waiting. That's what she is. No kids.
Yeah.
But then when dealing with singles and things like that, to help them set their goal, and that's one big distraction that you learn, that they focus on that mate, but really realize that you can spend most of your time with the Lord in your singleness. And
that's
you grow.
Right.
And when you get married, you're gonna have to spend time with the husband and do this and do that. So, but then you're already empowered. You already then reached that goal and got what you have. So I think they don't see that part. You know what I mean? They don't see that part of them. That let me do this, let me get this. Because spending my time with raising kids, doing what I had to do, and at 55, I got my master's degree. So at 55, I got my master's degree, and so I'm proud of myself And at the end of my stage, I never forget the end of my stage. At 55, my daughter met me at the bottom at that stage when I came across. And she said, you made it. That was the most proudest moment of my life. Because she had her bachelor's, but you made it. And so I just kept pushing along and kept encouraging. And my husband said, what are you going to do with it now? And I said, I'm just going to be empowered.
Okay.
I don't do anything else with it. I got it. You know what I mean?
Do whatever I want with it.
I got it. So, from 16 being pregnant to a mother of 7 kids and 60 years old, I'm here.
That's right.
So distractions came. Don't tell me they came. They were there, but you can make it.
That's awesome. I'm getting teary-eyed right now, and I think my mascara is probably going to run, but it's okay because I'm not showing the video part of this, so that's good. It can run all day long.
Opposition is going to come. We know that. It's
yeah.
It's a given. It's going to come. It's going to come, but we can overcome.
That's true. I think I remember seeing on a Facebook post that someone had posted, and it was like a picture of, it was 2 parts, and it was all the different obstacles and barriers in our way. That was the plan of God, but our plan is we just glide on straight through. But his plan is like, it's a curve here, it's a hill there, and it's all like, it's a boulder here. How you gonna get over there? But we want it like to be smooth, but the way God have it is, we're like, oh, it's so hard. But the beauty of it is just having that testimony, and that's, I think, getting in our heads that say, okay, this is my testimony, and I can tell people how I came through, how I overcame it. So yeah, it's hard to get that in your head, but it's hard. It's really hard. I didn't figure it out till now.
We can do it.
That's right. So, if you knew then what you know now, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago?
I would, 10 years ago, what advice would I give myself 10 years ago? I didn't really think that one through too well, because 10 years ago, I probably would have been about 50 years old. And that advice, I don't think I would change anything, because by that time I've done it. I was in the process at 50 years old. I probably was laying on my back in a wheelchair, in a bed. I was in a bad car accident, from a tractor trailer hitting me. See, that's why I said obstacles come in my way. So I shut down my whole daycare, shut it all down. Had to shut it all down because they told me I would never do this again, and this would never happen again. And I would be like this, but I'm not. I can walk, I can move. I don't have the wheelchair. I don't have any of those things, because the Lord just looked in. I was in my bed, and He's like, take up your bed and walk.
That's
and
right.
That's what I did, but I went through many things 10 years ago. I would have never thought I would go through depression. I would go through all that. 10 years ago, I didn't know that I was going to go through that. Those were those obstacles. Those were those distractions. But I didn't give up. I laid in my bed with my laptop and said, I'm going back to school. So in that testimony, He transformed my mind. And that's where I'm at. So that's where I'm doing what I'm doing, because that was the next thing on my list to do, was to coach, to counsel, to do whatever. So I just went back to school. And I went back to school, and I got my bachelor's, and then I went on to my master's. So eventually I'll go on and get my doctorate, but I just said that on here. No. But,
it's okay. I think my mom really do need to be sitting in on this podcast, because she loves medical and everything. And she's like, oh, and I said, Mom, it's not too late. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all the time that we're thinking that, we want to do something, time is going by, and it's not waiting for anyone. These years is going by so fast. So it's like within the next, 8 years or so, I think she'll be 62 or something like that. Okay. Go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Tell her to go for it. The only person that's stopping her is herself.
Yeah.
That's the only one that's stopping her is herself. You and I, nobody is. Herself,
Yeah.
And I say that because, like I said, at 55, I was graduating, but it was a lady was 75 going across the stage before me. So
Wow.
She can do it. She did it. She can do it. Think about in the Bible, Sarah, yeah, we get in our own way. She got in her own way with God. She got in her own way with God and got a Hagar in the picture.
Yeah.
But Hagar probably wasn't supposed to be in the scene, but she threw it in there. But that was a part of the situation. God had already planned it. It was already thought of, done. So, but at the same time, she had to wait so many more years before she had her Isaac. So I had to wait. I had to wait 3 more years before I got my master's. But and then walk into your destiny. So Isaac came. Sarah was still there. She was the mother. She was so. Have your baby, mama. Tell her mama, say, have your baby. Go have your baby. Do your dream and be fulfilled. I'm telling you, be fulfilled. Have your dream, be fulfilled.
That's right. So what's next for you?
Well, I told you I might decide my doctorate. I don't know. That's going to be the next thing I do, but I got a couple of books that I'm finishing up. One is already at the writer, and so that's about it. But like I told you, on my bucket list is working on the technology skills, which I really don't care to do. I'd rather find somebody to do them for me, but I want to learn a little bit so I can have knowledge if I have to ever go in there and do it myself. So that's some of the leveling up I have to do, equipping myself with those gear, those things. Yep.
That's awesome. And it's not as hard as you think, trust me. It's not.
I've been playing around with it.
It's not as hard as you think, trust me. We'll talk later about this.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay. So any last minute advice you have for our listeners out there?
Well, I would tell them this is some of my favorite things in the Word of God. In Joshua, one of my favorite books, because I do boot camps and Army things because I am an Army wife, a military wife, and raised military sons. And that's why I say they're out in their different areas by the way of military. So I like Joshua because God told Joshua to be strong and be courageous. See, the battle was already won in Jericho. He just told Joshua to be strong and be courageous. So I'm going to tell them it's already won. You be strong and be courageous. The only thing that's stopping you is yourself. And take charge of your life. Do it with confidence. Me telling you, do it with confidence. And do it with your strength. Do it with grace. Know who you are. Know your identity. Know who you are. Because, and I say know your identity because you're Keith's wife. Or you're little Keith's mom. Know your identity. Know that you're Lorraine, or know that you're Candace. Know who you are, what you do, and what you're about. Keep learning. Keep reading. Know what you want to do in life. Be independent. Network with other people. You're not an island. Make great connections. And then you know what? Give back. Give back to someone else. Give back, but empower others. And most of all, dream big. Dream big. Dream big. Just know who you are.
That's awesome.
And who you are. And who you are.
That's awesome. So where can everyone find you?
On Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com, She Soars LLC, or just look for She Soars LLC. That's me. Or Lorraine Jones Whitfield on Facebook.
Awesome.
Lorraine Speaks Life. Rain Speaks Life on Instagram. And Gmail me at hannahsheart7@gmail.com. You can find me those there. And you can also find me on Amazon. You can find my books on Amazon. Yep. Let's Faith It, Faithing It, and Kids Faith It Too.
Awesome. So, thank you so much for being on the show today. Did you have anything special for our listeners out there?
Just to be encouraged, be strong and be courageous.
Awesome.
The battle's not yours, it belongs to God.
That's right. That is right. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Go to hellocsdorsey.com to subscribe to the latest episodes or subscribe on the platform that you're listening on now. And remember, nothing is impossible, so let's make the impossible possible on today. Until the next time, take care.